Hi guys! Today we are going to do another crochet tutorial. Today's tutorial, I actually have a final product to show you how cool the stitch is going to be. We're going to learn today the basket weave stitch, so you can see how neat this stitch is. I made it into one of those little square hats. Super cute from both sides, which is also great. A lot of stitches have like a front and back side. Basket weave is cute from both sides, so that's what we're working on today. And I'm going to show you how to create this really cute stitch. It's actually really easy. It's very dense, it's very warm, great for hats, great for blankets. So, what you're going to need to start is your crochet hook. Today I am using a 4mm aluminum crochet hook, which is my current favorite. I have a link for that in the description. I also am using some crafting cotton yarn for medium worsted weight, and I'm using the Bernat brand. I've linked that in the description as well. So first things first, we're going to need a slip knot. If you need a little more information on some of the basics, like how to create a slip knot or how to do chain stitches, I do have a video that I will link in the description for the basics, but for today I'm just going to leave it at that. You need a slip knot. Then we're going to need to chain. This stitch works in multiples of 8. I'll just show you back on the original. It's 4 per little square, 4, 4. So you're going to need to chain in multiples of 8, and then whatever you decide as the length, add 7. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as long as you do it in multiples of 8, there's going to be no problem. So chain your length in multiples of 8 plus 7. So I think I'll do 24. 3, 24. Oops, 24. And then you have to add 7 to whatever your project is. The reason we're adding 7 is to ensure that our pattern is symmetrical, basically, and it'll be clear once we're a couple of rows ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So for the first row, we're just going to be double crocheting all the way along. So for that, we're going to skip the first and the second, and we're going to work into the third. So wrap around, insert into your stitch, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. Wrap around once. You've got your wrap around and your loop, insert into the stitch, wrap around your hook again and pull through. Now you've got 3, wrap around, pull through 2, now you've got 2, wrap around, pull through 2, now you've got 1. So I'm just going to finish that row. You can pause the video here and come back once you've double crocheted across your entire first row. Okay, so now we're at the end of that first row. Just going to do the last double crochet on that end stitch. Wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. And then you need to chain 2. And now we are going to be working the basket weave stitch. So for the basket weave stitch, you do need to know 1 or 2 new things. So that would be working in what's called the front post and back post double crochet. So first things first, we're never going to be working into this edge. We just don't bother with this edge. This is going to be our one stitch along the edge of our entire work made up of chains. So you'll wrap around like you would for a double crochet. In a regular double crochet, you'd be going into the top of that stitch right here. For the basket weave stitch though, the new technique is working into the posts. So those double crochets from our previous row are our posts. If I say front double crochet, what I mean is we're working to pull that forward to the front. We'll wrap around, pull through it like it's the regular stitch, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through. And you can see that that pulls our stitch forward. The other stitch that we're going to be working for this this basket weave stitch is called a back post double crochet. So for that, it's exactly the opposite. Instead of working by putting your hook behind, you're going to work by putting your hook in front of that stitch like this, and then completing a double crochet that way. And that's called a back post double crochet. So those are the only 2 stitches you need for basket weave, other than ones that you should already know if you've checked out the previous videos, like how to half double crochet, how to double crochet, how to single crochet, which are in the description of this video. I have them all linked. But if you know those ones, this is the only new stuff. So we're going to wrap around, and for the first 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to front post double crochet. So I'm going to wrap around my hook with the yarn, insert into the front of that column or post, wrap around again, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Now you just got to do that for the first 4, right into the back of that post, pull through 2, pull through 2, wrap around, insert there, pull through 2, pull through 2. So one more front post double crochet, which means wrap around, insert, so that you're using that whole bit, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. So there's your first 4 stitches, and those first 4 are called front post double crochet. Now we're going to do what's called a back post double crochet. So wrap around. Now this one's going to look a little ugly at first because you got to push it behind. So what we're doing, I'll show you from the top. From the top, we're going behind the whole stitch, just like that. So it's the exact same as the front post, except it's the opposite, so it's not the exact same. So wrap around, get behind that post like that, wrap around, pull through, 3 loops, wrap around, pull through, 2 loops, wrap around, pull through, 1 loop. There's a double crochet. Wrap around again. So we're doing 4 of those. Behind that post, then you wrap around, pull through 2 of them, wrap around, pull through 2 of them. Wrap around once, insert behind, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Wrap around. This is the last back post. Nope, go away, CJ. Wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Sorry about that, my cat's trying to climb on my filming table. Wrap around. Okay, so now we have 4 of them in the front, we've got 4 in the back. Now we're going to do 4 more in the front post. So wrap around, and then you insert into there, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, and then do it 3 more times. Wrap around, insert behind that column or post, pull through 2, pull through 2. So it's still just a double crochet, it's just where we're putting the hook. So instead of putting it in that top part of the stitch, we're putting it behind the entire post there. Pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. 1 more of the front post double crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2. Awesome. And then we're going to do those back posts again. Wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, insert behind that column, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, insert behind that column, wrap around, pull through, then pull through 2 of them, then pull through the last 2. So now you can kind of see the beginnings of that sort of basket weave look. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 in the back. Need 1 more. 1, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around. Now we're doing those front post double crochets again. This stitch, the front post and back post double crochet, are also used in many other stitches, really. We can do a lot of cable knit stitches with this front post and back post double crochet. You can also do the waffle stitch with the front post double crochet. There's quite a few stitches that need you to know what a front post and a back post double crochet are, so this basket weave stitch actually is super helpful for practicing back post and front post double crochets. So you're switching it up every 4 stitches, 4 front post double crochets and then 4 back post double crochets. So I'm just doing those back post ones now, and we're almost at the end of that first row of our basket weave, and then we'll be turning a corner and starting up our second row. The second row's a little bit, it's a dual pattern project, so you need to know 2 different patterns to get the project done. So now we're on our last front post before turning our corner, and if you did the right number of stitches, which I did, I hope, I'll know in 1 minute, then you're gonna end up with just your chain stitches from the previous row on the end. So perfect, we ended up just with the right number. And the reason that we added those 7 stitches at the beginning, aside from our multiples of 8, was so that we end up with symmetry. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can see what I mean. See, these ones are front post, and now the end on the other side is front post. So if we had only done it in multiples of 8, then we would have ended up, no, go away. You can't come. Sorry, the cat's trying to come again. We would have ended up with this. It's not a problem, it just means that you would have had a front, back, front, and then you would have ended on the back. But since we added those extra 7 stitches, we end up with both ends being the same, which is great. So now, what we're going to do with that chain stitch is a half double crochet into that chain stitch. So find a spot where your needle, or your hook, excuse me, can go. Then you wrap around, pull through, and then wrap around, pull through all 3 of them. The reason we do a half double instead of a double on the edge here is because these stitches are being pulled down by being used within the posts. So a double crochet at the end would have been a little bit too tall. We need it to stay level together. Now we're going to just chain 2, turn the work around, and we're going to just keep going. But this time, you can see now from the back of the work, it looks like your front posts are actually back posts. It looks like your back posts are actually front posts. So we're going to follow that. I'm going to do it 4 rows following that pattern before changing it. So with the first one, we don't want to front post because that's going to change the direction of the basket weave too early. We want to use our back posts. So stitch 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the next row are going to be back post first, then front post. I know it sounds really confusing, but once you get into the groove of it, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to just do 4 of those back post double crochets. There we go. And then we're going to do 4 front post double crochets. And by doing that in the reverse pattern from the first side, you're going to keep the basket weave going the same direction as that previous row. If you switched it up too early, it's not going to make that sort of traditional basket weave look. So you can see from the front, by putting those back post double crochets into this row, we've kept that looking like a pulled forward bit, and by keeping them in the front post on the back side, see, we're doing front post here, you keep this little bit looking like it's pushed back. So front row is 4 front post double crochets, 4 back row double crochets all the way across. The second row, when we're working on the wrong side, is going to be 4 in the back, then 4 in the front. Wrap around, insert into the back, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around. Okay, so this is the last post of that row. Wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Now we still have that chain stitch from the end, so we are going to wrap around, then find a nice spot to put your hook. Ideally you'll have 2 bits of yarn on the top of your hook there, wrap around, pull through, and this one's just a half double, so you wrap around, pull through all 3. Again, reason we're doing a half double is because these stitches end up being a lot shorter than a regular double crochet because they're going into that front post and back post. So we're going to chain 2 and then turn the work around. Alright, so we have one more row, and a really good way to count it is to be counting these side stripes for the back post double crochets. You don't want to be counting that first double crochet row because that's just the end of your work. You want to count these guys. Once you get 4 of these is when we're going to switch directions. So we have one more row to complete this way. So wrap around, we're back on those front posts in the front. So we're going to insert behind the post, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, insert behind that post, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, insert, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Last one of the front posts, wrap around, insert, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Now we're going to do 4 back posts. Wrap around, insert and behind that post, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, pull through 2, insert behind that post, pull through 2, pull through 2. Last one in those back posts, pull through 2, pull through 2. So I'm just going to zoom across the end of this row doing that so that we can get to the where we're turning the corner. And then I will be right back. So pause your video until you've gotten all the way to the end, and then I will show you one more time how to turn the corner, and then I'll show you how to change directions. Alright, so now I'm at the end of that 4th row, just doing that last front post double crochet. There we go. And then we're going to do the half double crochet into that chain stitch. Wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through all 3, and then chain 2, 1 and 2, turning the work over. So now you can see the beginnings of a basket weave. Obviously it doesn't look like a basket weave yet because we don't have any contrasting stitches. So you'll wrap around, and now we're going to be working front post double crochets into those previously made back post double crochets, and that's going to change the direction of the basket weave. Wrap around, and now we're just going to switch the direction basically. So for the first 4 rows you're following the same pattern. After that you're going to switch for the next 4 rows and do the exact opposite. So when it looks like a back post double crochet, now you make it a front post. So that's what I'm doing here. This one looks like a back post double crochet, so I'm switching it to a front post. Then I'm going to switch this one to a back post because it looks like, oops, a front post. And that's going to give you that sort of basket weavy textured look by switching the direction of the columns you're making. So I'm going to do these ones as back post double crochets because they appear as front posts, and then these ones look like back posts, so I'm going to switch them to front posts. Just going to go all the way across, changing the direction of the posts in order to change the direction of the entire basket weave stitch. So it's still the exact same stitch, double crochets in the posts. You're just doing the opposite of what you've been doing this whole time. So if it looks like it's a front post double crochet, don't do another front post double crochet into it, do a back post. So that's what I'm doing here. These are back post double crochets. So I'm wrapping around, putting it in front of the post, wrapping around, pulling through there, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrapping it around, putting my hook in and pulling that post back, which is why it's called a back post. This one I want to pull the post to the front, so it's a front post. There we go. Oops. Wrap around, pull that post to the front, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull that post to the front, wrap around, pull through, oops, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Wrap around, pull that post to the front, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Then you'll find that chain stitch, wrap around, insert into the, insert into the top chain, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through all three. So half doubles on the end because the stitches are short. Then you're going to chain 2, turn your work over, and now you can start to see the change in direction. So these are going to now be looking like they are up this way, and then these ones are now going to change direction to be horizontal. So now you're going to follow the pattern that you've just created again. So the first ones are going to be back posts. So basically you're following the same pattern every 4 rows. So every 4 rows you're going to change up the direction of the stitches, but the stitch itself is still the same. They're either front post or back post double crochets. Nothing too crazy happens. And then on the ends you do your half double crochets because the stitches are shorter than a true double crochet. So you don't want to do a double crochet on the end, or your ends are going to be wider than your actual stitches and it won't be nice and tight and even. So rows 1 through 4 and 5 through 8 are always the same, and you just repeat 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 1 through 4, 5 through 8. So now you can see that really is starting to look basket weavy. I'm just going to finish this row, show you how to turn a corner one more time, and then I will come back to show you what happens after you've built up a couple more rows. Second last stitch before we do our half double, and then here's our last post. Whoops. Perfect. Okay, now we're at the end of the row, so we're going to wrap around, put the hook into that chain along the side, which I always make too tight, so remember to keep it loose. Then we're going to wrap around, pull through all 3, half double crochet, then we chain 2, turn the work around. Now you can really see it starting to turn basket weavy. So now we've got 1, 2, 3. We still need one more row this way before we're going to change directions again. So I'm going to just complete that whole row, and when I get to the end of this row and it's time to change directions again, I will come back and show you how to do that one more time. Okay, so I've just finished here on the 4th row with my new direction. So you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. You don't really count that first bit just because that's part of these guys. So now I've finished even with my half double crochet. I've done that. Now I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, turn the work, and now I'm going to be again doing the exact opposite of what it looks like I should do. So here you'd want to do front double crochets because that's what's already there. We're changing the direction though because it's our new part of the basket weave. So this part we're going to do back post double crochets. We have that direction change, and this top bit, even though it looks like this is too long right now, this top bit is going to take away from the excess length that it looks like we have here. So now I'm going to wrap around, and now I'm doing front posts because we're changing the direction and that looks like a back post. So we're going to switch it around and make it a front post now. Wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through. For the basket weave again, we're doing back post and front post double crochets, which is a regular double crochet, but instead of inserting into the top, we're inserting behind the entire post of previous double crochet stitches. So insert behind for the front posts there, pull through 2, pull through 2, then we're going to wrap around. This one's back posts now, so insert, pull through, insert again, pull through 2, pull through 2, wrap around. Every time you do a direction change, you will notice it's a little bit difficult. Okay, now we're going to switch back to the front post. So every 4 stitches, you're switching between front post and back post double crochets. Double crochet is when you wrap around, pull through, and then you wrap around again, pull through 2, wrap around again, pull through 2. Wrap around, insert, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, insert, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Now we're going to do back posts for this part. Wrap around, insert in front like that, wrap around, pull through that loop, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Now these last 4 are going to be back posts because we're switching direction again. Second last one here. Cool, and the last one, back post double crochet, oops, right there. And then the last stitch of each row is a half double crochet into the chain. So find the best spot you can. If you can get to the topmost link in your chain, that's ideal. But if you can't, as long as you've gotten your hook into that chain, I always make my stupid chain stitches way too tight. There we go. Insert, wrap around, pull through, and then half doubles when you wrap around, pull through all 3, just like that. And then we're going to chain 2. I'm going to try and keep it loose for this one. Turn the work over, and now you can see we've switched directions. Now you can see that we've got a very clear basket weave sort of pattern starting to show up. And now this one, for the next 3 rows, because that was our first row of the 4, we're going to follow the pattern we just sort of created. So this one's our front posts, so we'll have 4 front posts, then we'll have 4 back posts, front post, back post, until the end of your project. How to do a front post and a back post double crochet. So for a front post double crochet, wrap around your hook once, insert your hook behind the entire stitch. So if you stretch out your stitches, you can see these 2 big holes. You'll insert your hook in behind there, just like this, wrap your yarn, pull it through that whole loop. Now you'll have your 3, and then just complete a double crochet. Wrap around, insert behind, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around, pull through 2. Okay, and now quick refresher on the back double. Wrap around. Again, you've got those 2 big holes, but this time you're coming from behind, like that. Pull through both of those loops again, and then just complete a double crochet. Wrap around, open up your stitch if you need help. Comes up from behind, back, and then you're pulling through that loop like it's one thing, just like that. Complete your double crochet. So, I'm just going to finish those rows, and when we come back, it'll be a little bit bigger and a little bit more basket weavy. So pause the video here, keep working along your pattern, and then come back when you're almost ready to finish up what you're working on. Okay, so we've made it to our last row. So you can see I've got a pretty clear basket weave. So when you're on your last row, what you should be doing is your last row should always be on the same side of your work as your first row. So if you remember at the beginning, we started with front post double crochets. So here we are again, there's front post double crochets here. The last row of your work should be basically where your 4th row of that set would be. So you can see each row is worked in sets of 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. This one's actually the top 1, 2, 3, 4. But the first row is actually only 3, and then your first initial row of double crochet. So that's what we're doing again here. We've got 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to do a row of double crochet. You always finish with 1 row of double crochet. The thing you've got to remember is that it has to be on the front side of your work. So even though both sides are cute, one side will be the front and one will be the back. It'll be the initial side that you started, essentially. So we're going to finish with double crochets across that top final row. I've already done my half double crochet to connect that last row and then 2 chain stitches. Now we skip that first one like we always do, and then we work into that second. Now we're just doing it into the top like a regular double crochet. Just wrap around, insert, wrap around, pull through 2, pull through 2. And you're just going to do that all the way across your work. And having that double crochet there is going to finish off the basket weave pattern for that set of 4. while also kind of completing your work in a nice way that gives it a bit of a border, a little bit more of a polished finish than just finishing it at the end of one of those set of 4 rows. So you're going to actually have 2 rows on either end, or 1 row on either end of your work, 2 rows total, that are just double crochets. And they actually act as one of your rows. I know some people also will do a half double crochet just because your original double crochet ends up looking like a half double crochet because of the basket weave stitches going into it in the 3rd row, I suppose, or 2nd row. Chains don't count as a row. Okay, so things to remember: you need to chain however long you want, but in multiples of 8, and at the end, after you've determined how long you want it, add an additional 7 stitches. 4 of those stitches are going to actually act as part of your basket weave, keeping it nice and even on both sides, but the remaining 3 are just what you need for your double crochet for your first row. Then you'll also need to remember the ends of every row receive a half double crochet instead of a double crochet, and you chain 2 stitches at the end of each row. You also have to remember that each row is worked in patterns of 4. So you're going to do 4 rows, 1 pattern, 4 rows, the reverse pattern. Then I'm going to wrap around, pull through, pull it nice and tight, and that gives you a nice straight edge all the way around your basket weave, just like this. And look at how cute that is. This makes such a great stitch for a washcloth because it has 2 different sort of textures going, which is great. Cute little scrubby. This would make a really great like cup holder cover for something hot. Such a beautiful stitch. It works for a lot of things. It really would make a beautiful blanket. And what I actually ended up making it into, see if I can zoom you out a little bit, is this really cute little hat. So it can fold up if you've got a smaller head, but if you've got a bigger head, you can leave it stretched down, and you can see how beautiful that basket weave pattern looks once you get it going a little bit. This is the basket weave stitch. I hope you liked it. I hope you managed to figure it out with my instructions, and if you did like it, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more because I do put out a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. Lately it seems to be every day though, so it might be a little bit more frequently than every Tuesday, Thursday. But in the comments, let me know what you'd like to see next. And yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!